Okay guys, today we will be doing volume of prisms. Now when we find volume, we're talking about how much fits inside of my prism. Okay, so how much space I have inside of my shape. Now when I look at this prism, the very first thing that I want you guys to identify is the name of the prism. And we talked about how these shapes have a first and a last name. Now the first name is just the name of the shape of the base. So when I look at my prism, I know that the base looks like a rectangle, but this is not a rectangular prism, okay? It's just laying down. It is a triangular prism. So when you see the triangles, right away that should alert you that that is a triangular prism, okay? So when we see that, that's gonna help us out in figuring out the volume. Because when we look at our star chart, this is the formula that we get. And capital B, that does not mean base. That actually means area of the base, which means you have to do another step before it. That means I need to find the area of that triangle, okay? So our strategy to help us out is every time you see volume, you're gonna make two columns. The first one has the first name of the shape, and that's how you find the area of the base. And the second column is the last name, prism, and that's when we find the volume. So you need to do this column first before doing this one. So I know that this is a triangular prism, okay? And sorry for the misspell right here. So since it's a triangular prism, we're going to find the area of that triangle, okay? And we're gonna follow the 1/2 base times height. Now, I only want you to look at the triangle. So let's go ahead and write down our numbers here. So when I look at the triangle only, I see that the height is 5 and the base is 6. So it's 1/2 times 6 times 5. And when you put that on your calculator, it should give you 15. Now again, we need to do this first because that area of the base, that's what goes in for this capital B. It is not base. It is not just grabbing this number. You have to do another formula first. So whatever you get here, that's where you're going to put in place here. So now, instead of capital B, we're going to put the area of that base, which is 15. Times, and that height, that means the height of the prism. That's when we take that 10. And now when we find the volume, we get that it's 150 units cubed. Volume is cubed, okay? So that's how we find the volume of a triangular prism. Set up two columns, find the area of the triangle, the area of the base, and use that for capital B in your volume formula. Okay. So let's go ahead and do one for the rectangular prism. And then you can watch the video on getting the worksheet started for some more examples. So for a rectangular prism, so the base is going to be the top and the bottom, right? And they're rectangles. So your first column is going to be with the formula for a rectangle, and it's a prism, so your second is going to be the volume formula for a prism. So let's go ahead and start with area of the base, area of that rectangle on the bottom. Base is 8, height is 2, so 8 times 2. So the area of my base, just of the shape down here, is 16. And that's what you're going to use for capital B over here. So instead of capital B, we write 16. And height is of the prism. So the prism is 12 inches high. So when we do that on your calculator, we get 192 inches cubed, okay? So these are the two examples for your notes. The next video is going to have a couple of more examples to get you started on the assignment. Thank you.